Hello, welcome to this week's BCG podcast. With me, of course, is Sonic, MrSonic, and of course myself,
Hello.
Deus. We've got a couple of people on today. One of them is a local friend of mine. Say hello, Ishy.
Hi.
She's always a long-time friend, big gamer. And Sonic, I believe you have a guest at your end as well.
Yes, say hello, Noah.
What's up?
Right, so things we've been doing this week. Sonic, what games have you been playing this week? Mostly.
I've been playing Factorio frickin' obsessively.
I've heard it's
I
really
mean,
good.
I've delved 13 hours into a single save file.
Only 13 hours, single save file. You're
In
talking
the past 3 days.
Oh, okay, fair enough. That's a reasonable amount of time. Myself, I've been mostly playing Minecraft with Ishy, and I've not been doing that. I've been busy doing my other D&D work and the like. Oh, I've been playing some World of Warcraft recently, which was the single most depressing thing in my life, and I hope to God I never have to do it ever again.
Wow.
No, I mean, nobody here has played WoW, or other than myself, is there? Noah, have you ever played it?
I played WoW, yeah.
Right.
I hate it.
Can you explain to me why people thought that this was a good idea? Because I like Hearthstone. I really enjoy my Hearthstone playing it. I know she used to play it as well, but I'm more into it, as it were. There's a new skin coming out for Paladin, and the only way to get it is by getting a level 20 account, which is the free account for World of Warcraft. And I'm going through it. I'm desperately trying to find the fun bits in it, and I'm finding it the most boring and dire. And why does everything look like it was made about 200 years ago out of styrofoam? And I never got the draw. It was an absolute slugfest, and Ish, you can actually attest to me complaining about it pretty much constantly when we were hanging out.
Well,
Not pretty much, actually.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
So Ish,
I'm actually the same way though.
Yeah.
I was actually not really that good. I mean, the reason it looks like it does is because instead of making the expansions that they have, they don't upgrade the graphics at all, except for Mists of Pandaria, which is the only one I played, and it was the better graphics out of all of them.
well, I know they've done
And
an upgrade.
it's kinda shitty.
I know they did an upgrade recently to the older parts of the game, and it still looks terrible. And speaking as someone myself who've got a lot of experience with MMOs like Guild Wars 2, Blade and Soul, Archie,
And it's not too.
yeah,
Hellgate.
yeah, Hellgate. We both myself and Ishii have played a lot of MMOs, and I've played a lot more than she has. And the questing system's just really badly put together. It doesn't feel interesting. I mean, for 2004, it might have felt interesting, but even then, in 2004, EverQuest was still around. Anyway, before we get too divulged into my absolute disparaging amount of time I spent trying to get to level 20 in World of Warcraft, Noah, what have you been playing
2
this week?
weeks.
Oh God, don't even fucking start me. So what have you been playing this week?
I've played basically like the last podcast I was on. It was the same thing. I played a Hitman beta a lot more. I actually finally beat the Hitman beta.
Any
Instead
good?
of just blowing up a boat.
Yeah. Instead of just blowing up a boat, I blew up a military base. And
Seems
I've been
legit.
playing a lot of Call of Duty. Been playing. I went back to Shadows of Evil. And I actually showed a friend a bunch of new stuff because he only got to like round 5. Like the only thing he did. He didn't know how much there's stuff in it. Like he didn't even know about the rituals, and that's like the main thing in Shadows.
Yeah.
But I've been playing Dries and Draken. Been trying to get the Easter egg done with a group of my friends and stuff. And the Easter egg is it's so hard to get to that boss battle with the gatekeeper, and everybody goes down, and you're the only person. You got like 7 panzers on you. You got the storm bow, which is the best bow, honestly, in my opinion. But even with that, you don't have a zombie shield, and the panzers
It's
they just take
shocking
you out.
that it's his favorite bow.
How's that? How's that shocking? How's that
The
shocking?
storm bow, and
yeah,
it's shocking.
Come on,
Oh,
it's terrible.
okay.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Yeah, it's pretty awful.
You know it's a good joke when it makes everybody groan.
That's your definition of comedy. It's not most people's definition of comedy, however.
My definition of comedy is sticking my dick in your mouth and watch you gargle.
Okie dokie then. Ish, what have you mostly been playing this week then?
Minecraft. Like, from when I wake up to when I go to sleep. And when I'm not doing that, I have bravely decided to venture back to the world of Dev Pro,
Oh,
which is
the
Yu-Gi-Oh!
yeah, God.
Oh, it's a broken mess. But they released, they've been releasing a new archetype, which is basically based on Dark Magician Girl. So of course I had to try it out.
Ishi's a
Fuck yeah.
long-term fan of Dark Magician Girl from the anime and the manga. But yeah, no, I mean, I used to play that Dev Pro with you as well. I just I didn't upgrade when they changed the program and stuff like that, which I really maybe should have, and I'm just very, very lazy, or I've had other things to do.
Well, I think if you signed up now, I think you'd have to make a new account because I
Yeah.
had to as well.
Yeah.
But everyone had to. Everyone's account was gotten rid of because they basically completely scrubbed the old program and built it up again.
No, that's not a good sign. But I suppose it is, because it was a bit of a broken mess, and it was a bit spaghetti
It's
code.
still a bit of a broken mess.
Yeah.
Like Halo Master Chief Collection.
Oh God, don't even, don't even. So yeah,
Occasionally, I've also been playing Pokemon Picross.
yeah. Actually, I've
Mostly abusing the exploit that somebody told me about, where I can keep doing the dailies over and over again, so I can actually get enough pick rights to unlock new areas without having to spend money.
is this some sort of freemium game that I was not aware of that Game Freak released? Like pay once. And
You
then
say that you weren't aware of, but I have spoken to this about this to you a couple of times.
Shh, you're revealing the business. Get buried. Yeah. So, no. So, just for people who aren't aware, what sort of gameplay are they looking at? Because I know Pokemon's usually known for that, monster capture, throw my Charmander, your Squirtle.
These
blah,
days,
blah.
Pokemon has so many spin-off games. It has a game in just about any type of game.
See, the only spin-off I ever remember being really good was either the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon or Pokemon Puzzle. I fucking loved Pokemon Puzzle.
Pokemon Snap. How
I
dare
like
you?
Pokken Tournament.
Yeah, I've heard Pokemon
Hey, you Pikachu.
We don't talk about
No,
bad games.
Pikachu
Yeah,
Libre,
Pikachu is
okay?
apparently one of the worst. I've never played
No,
it.
you're talking about Pokken Tournament.
Yeah,
That's what I just said.
That's Pokemon Tournament is Pokemon, dude.
It is. It's like Mortal Kombat meets
I know,
Pokemon,
I know.
except you don't get to tear
Pikachu-
Pikachu's fucking tail off and shove it up his ass.
Pikachu has the ability to stone cold stunner people. What's not to like about this? This sounds genius.
Right. And whatever that, I don't remember what that red Pokemon is, the one with the tail, but it has a dick. You guys seen this? It was actually
But you did
Blaziken?
what Pokemon was
Blaziken, yeah.
one with a tail.
There's a lot with a
it's
tail.
Blaziken.
Oh, Blaziken.
The
Yeah.
red
Blaziken
Pokemon
barely
with
has a tail.
Well, he has like the fur makes it look like he has a
Penis.
penis. Yeah, I just didn't want to say it, but it was actually somebody sued the people that make Pokken Tournament. Mom did because she saw her son playing it, and so she paused it right there. And she took a picture. She sent it. She said, "You should be absolutely appalled for putting a penis in a kid-friendly game." It's like, it's not a penis. It's just fur.
Yeah, that's pretty.
It's
stupid.
not.
So yeah, the idea is that you're signing up for like 99 cents a month or 30 days, more specifically, to get access to these custom game modes. Now, one of the big complaints has been that this is worse than straight out paying for a mod, because rather than paying for a mod once, regardless of how inflated the price is, you have to keep paying, although the price is regulated by Valve themselves. And these are custom game types. They're not part of the core game. If you're into that whole MOBA stuff, like I used to be, then it's not going to affect you. But if you are playing it, and you're playing it with friends or whatever, it is going to cost you every month. Now, there's some good sides and some bad side of this. The obvious one being that, I don't want to have to pay for my mod more than once, but on the flip side to that, if the mod breaks in any way, if that person doesn't keep up with fixing it, they're going to lose out on money, which I suppose makes sense. I mean, Ishy, you remember the paid Skyrim mods debacle, and I don't think you were exactly the biggest fan of it.
Actually, I'm going to admit I didn't know anything about the Skyrim paid mods until this came up.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, I mean,
The last thing I had to do with Skyrim was the DLC, and that was it.
Ooh, right. Okay then. Sonic, do you remember the paid mods debacle for Skyrim, or am I going to be the old person here that remembers everything?
I remember that. It was terrible.
I don't.
It's not that I don't remember, it's that I wasn't paying attention.
Right. Okay. Well, and then
It was just absolutely
I
terrible.
only played it on PlayStation, so I don't know.
All right. Okay. Well, in this case, then it'll be really cool for us to explain it to you. So, Noah and Ishy, what happened was that Valve, with an agreement with Bethesda, was going to allow mod developers, guys who create custom game stuff like models, art assets, entire new DLC level sort of stuff. And they were
Including the multiplayer mod for Skyrim.
which mysteriously disappeared, and then we got Elder Scrolls Online. But let's not talk about that. But there's a
I
whole
love Elder Scrolls Online. You don't cuss it.
It started off as a mod that they bought out and turned into that game. Anyway,
Yeah, Gus, let's not go down this line. Several games have started out as mods.
yeah. Well, hello, Dota 2.
Counters-
How are you doing there? I'm sorry, Warcraft 3. Anyway, so
Gmod.
yeah, exactly. But the
Left
whole
4
point,
Dead.
yeah. So the whole thing is that Bethesda was letting Valve, through their store, charge for certain mods. If people wanted to put it up, they could put a price associated with it. But the problem was, and the reason why it fell apart within 48 hours, and no, I'm not joking, was that first of all, you could charge anything you want. There was no limit on it whatsoever. So there were mods that were like $1,000 as a good example, and somebody bought them.
Like crap mods.
Yeah, like terrible quality mods, because maybe something you've not experienced because it's not really a console thing at the moment is the whole idea that on a PC, for example, if you're playing a game and say, oh, I wish that model didn't look quite that way, you'll probably find someone has modified the game to change a model or add new armors or whatever.
Oh, okay, kind of like Minecraft on the consoles. They have the skin packs and texture packs.
Yeah. But you can do so much more. It's like
the one Skyrim mod that I do remember was where they made all the arrow sounds go pew.
Oh, that's the funniest shit ever. Literally every time you let go. So if you're in like the big battle scenes, all you hear is pew pew pew, and it's like that kind of. It's just fucking hilarious. But like
there's no one also that gave mud crabs like a monocle and a top hat.
Yes, and there's another one that turned all the dragons into Macho Man Randy Savage with Macho Man Randy Savage sound
awesome.
bites. It's properly awesome. But the thing is that those mods have always been free. Like if you can go online just now and find all these mods still for free, and some of them like sometimes modders are delivering day 1 or day 2 patches to a lot of things, as is seen in the Soul series on the PC, because they're terrible for actually getting PC ports up. But the idea was that they were going to charge for these mods so that mod creators could earn some money, because sometimes these mods are very heavily they spend a lot of time on them. There's people who spend hundreds and hundreds of hours just making the damn things, and they can be just small minor tweaks to the game, and some of them are considered sort of standard mods or how the game should be. A good example being in Skyrim, there is a mod which allows the menu system to be a lot more orientated towards a mouse, whereas it's actually kind of designed towards a console. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but for PC users it's considered a essential mod. Fallout and a lot of those kind of games sort of have the same thing. So when they started saying, well, you can charge whatever you want for them, and then there's a lot of other problems, because some mods use other mods as a platform, either to run them off of, or they interact with them, or they don't interact with them. So you were having situations where people could be spending money, real money, on buying a mod which didn't work with all the rest of their mods, and in fact made other mods break, but they couldn't get their money back. Stuff like that.
I heard about that on the Know, which is like a Rooster Teeth, they're kind of like IG news thing.
Yeah.
And they was talking about it, and they were actually the first mod that they released for I don't remember what it was. I don't remember what game it was, but it was a mod released, and they actually got sued for it because it was a different mod for a different game, using it based on it was breaking everybody else's complete other games that didn't even have anything to do with it.
Yeah, it's like that's the kind of like horrible, nasty thing that can happen with paid mods. Now, with what's happened this time is that the custom game modes can be radically different. I don't know. I think I might be the only one here who's played Dota 2 in its current iteration.
Yeah.
But, the way that
I played it. It's awesome.
I'm not the biggest fan of MOBAs anymore. I fell out of love with them. Put it that way.
You're not a fan of anything, are you?
I know I'm a fan of a lot of things. It's just that with MOBAs, I started on League of Legends. That was one of my earlier MOBAs. Well, I say that. The original Dota was technically my first MOBA. So that's what I was used to. And then I played League of Legends, and I really enjoyed that. And it sort of burned me out. And I just not really into MOBAs anymore. I'm actually signed up for like multiple ones at the moment. I've got I'm in the so I've played a lot of MOBAs that I've been associated with, and I'm in some betas right now. Like I've signed the non-disclosure agreement for Paragon, so all I can tell you is I'm part of the Paragon beta. Legally all I'm allowed to say, but I was in part of Supernova, Dawngate when it was a thing as well. I played a lot of different MOBAs, but I'm kind of burned out of them, and Dota 2 it's too much for me at the moment. And maybe I'll come back to it later, but the important thing is that well, it's possible I'll go back, but it's not like a definite thing. But the thing that I was going to say, which is really important, is that these are custom game modes. These aren't part of the main game, so if you wanted to just play Dota 2, they don't affect you. Kind of in a similar way to the way that mods don't necessarily affect you, but some mods are more important than others, if you grab me. So, for example...
Yeah, like as cards for Gmod.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, what do you guys think about that? Noah, you seem pretty vocal, generally speaking, about this whole sort of charging for mods thing. Does it something that makes more sense to you as a console gamer with like the different sort of ideas set behind it?
Well, I mean, and taking it into the sense of like, I know I make everything into a Call of Duty sense, but if you think about it, like the World at War custom map maker that they have, and they're bringing it back for Black Ops 3, and they're going to be able to paid maps. There's a whole talk about it. I think that's a really good thing. You can get more things for the game itself in its own way.
Okay, what the hell's that in the background?
I am very sorry. I forgot to put on my phone, and I got a text.
Right, we'll leave this in. We'll leave this in. Okay.
Okay.
Sonic, calm your shit down. You're gonna like cough out a lung.
He's dying.
Right. So that's very interesting. You think that it's like because you've got this from a different perspective, and the custom map makers, as a counterpoint to that, Ish, what do you feel about this whole idea of monthly, effectively subscription for custom game modes?
Well, first of all, I hate
Ishy.
all.
No, I was saying Ishy. I was saying Ishy.
Yeah. Well, basically, I don't know. I don't really like a monthly subscription for any game, but that might just be me. I like to just, if I'm paying for a game, I want to pay for it flat out, because you're always going to pay less buying a game than you are paying for it every month.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I mean, the other thing as well is that I think they've tried to abnegate that feeling towards it by making it such a small amount of money every month. But I mean, even
a small amount of money builds up the longer you have it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I definitely agree with that. Sonic, do you feel this is kind of a thing do you think this is a way that games maybe should be going into, the idea of effectively having the community paid for their direct works, but in small amounts? Because I haven't actually. I should mention I haven't told you what the split is for the money that they're charging for this, which I'll tell you after I hear from Sonic.
Just a thing. I'm not saying that people that make these mods shouldn't be paid for the time they put into it. Yeah. It's just not a subscription thing. I think it should be a one-off payment.
Sonic, what do you think, man?
I agree with Ishy that if they are going to get paid, it needs to be a one-time payment thing, and it needs to have a cap. Like, unless it's like a full-on DLC worth game, it doesn't need to be anything more than like $50.
Like maps and stuff like that.
Yeah, if
so
it's
like
just
$19.99.
Yeah, but like a one-off payment kind of thing.
Yeah, a one-off payment of a small amount that's predetermined by the type of mod.
Yeah, let's screw over Europe and just say all Europe has to pay 99 pounds, and we can pay £99.
I don't think that's gonna happen, mate. But whatever.
Damn it. Well, pretty much like if it's a specific model, unless it's like an ultra high definition model, it needs to be like no more than like $3.
He scares me when he does that.
Yeah, well, I can totally see that. Right, so again, I've not actually pointed out how much the split is on the money so far, but I totally get what you guys are saying. It makes kind of sense to reward modders for their hard work. Now, here's the kicker. The way the money is split on not just the original paid mods, but also the paid game modes here, is 70-30 to the company.
It's a company. That sounds about right. They're greedy.
Yeah, so the company is actually making 70% of the money off of these transactions, and only 30% is going to the modder.
$1,000 thing now.
Yeah. I mean
I would not even bother making mods for Dota if I knew that was the split rate.
It was the same split rate that they did with the Skyrim mods as well. It went 70-30, where the 70 was split 50-50 between Bethesda and Valve. So Bethesda, who at least made the game originally, is getting like 35% of that profit, and the other 35% is going to Valve from the Skyrim mods, and they didn't even make anything. They're just hosting it. They're literally doing nothing. And in the same way, Valve's only contribution is the hoster here. They made the original game, which is a mod of a mod of a mod.
Of a mod.
Which is weird because, of course, Valve's most famous accomplishment is Half-Life, which is a mod of a mod. So that's fine.
Quake 3.
Yeah, no, Half-Life 3 never. So here's where
I was about to say, is it not a little bit dangerous to mention Half-Life because that'll start up?
Oh God, don't even.
Half-Life 3 confirmed.
Hey, I just said Quake 3. The Quake 3 engine makes everything, even Call of Duty.
Quake 3 is solid. Anyway, right, so here's where it gets really screwed up. So I've already told you how bad the split is, and you're thinking, that's not too bad. But immediately after it, one of the more popular mods on Dota 2, this custom game modes, had art assets from World of Warcraft. It used art assets that were not made by the developer, that weren't part of the base game, and were actually from a different company, from a different artist, meaning that Valve, by hosting this and charging money for this, could have been liable for thousands, if not millions of pounds in a copyright claim. Now that
I think
was
that's something to know as well.
yeah, it was. It got spotted, and the developer took it down. But one of the things that this brought up is that even if you are going to have paid mods, you're going to have someone look over each of these paid mods to ensure that there is absolutely no way that there's anything that could cause controversy or copyright. Meaning that if a modder makes a game type and puts it out there, I mean, think about how many people are going to think about putting that out there when they now know they're going to get money off of it. It's starting to become a very sort of scary thing where we're adding layers of corporate to something that was very much a fan community thing. Now that you've heard that, does that change your opinion on these mods? I mean, Noah, I know you were very much... with the maps, you were very much pro it, and it's very interesting. I do agree. I think it's actually something that maybe we can cover at a different time. But that's a sort of similar equivalent thing of paying every month for what is essentially custom maps.
We'll cover that at E3 week.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be a good time to do it. But I mean, does that change your opinion after hearing the money split and the controversy surrounding potential copyright issues?
Well, like mods shouldn't even charge for mods. Honestly, I mean, mods if it's made by somebody else, just to put something in a game, they shouldn't be charged. I mean, you can still actually do mods without even doing that, and people can still download your mods on. I don't know where you download them at because I don't have a PC right now. Steam, but yeah, but you can still do it without needing to purchase them.
Yeah. And if you wanted to give money to the developer, there's most of the time they have a PayPal donate button on their mod page.
Would you do that? I mean, they're already wanting you.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Have like a donate thing.
Yeah.
Well, I know, Ishy, you're a Patreon supporter, which is often used by a lot of not developers, but content creators on YouTube because they've had problems monetizing correctly. I mean, I know you.
Yeah, it's a YouTuber called Pimp Knight who does Pokemon videos. His costs go towards his streaming costs, audio things. Basically, anything he needs for recording, he uses Patreon money for.
Yeah, and that's sort of, it's a variable amount. It's not just like a flat amount you pay. You can pay based off of what you want to give him or what you can afford. Is that right?
Yeah, I think. I think it's the second lowest that I pay is. It's not even £5 a month.
All right.
And for that, I get. Any giveaways he does during the month, I automatically get one. I get to talk to him anytime he's on the chat. I get opportunities. Sometimes he'll do streams for just the Patreons, in which case we get to battle him and trade with him and things.
All right, okay.
And recently, I even got to duel against him, and I trolled him so hard.
That was pretty cool. By the way, just for our American friends out there, £5 or therearabouts is about $7 US.
Yeah,
that gives you.
I know, but I was just saying, if I could lose £5 a month, that'd be a good start.
Yeah. Well,
I think what he charges is like $5 American.
All right.
Not American, sorry, $5 Australian.
It's $5 Aussie.
Oh, so that's like
$5
2
Aussie,
cents American.
It's not that bad. I've actually been to Australia.
I think it's because there's like the thing that increases it to like £4.39 is like I think it's like either VAT or Patreon. A price, like additional charge on it.
Yeah, $5 US is like $6.60 in Aussie dollars, so that gives you an equivalent sort of value. But yeah, no, I think this is very important though. That I think it's maybe changed some minds, maybe brought some new ideas to the table. Especially seeing that split though is pretty nasty when you think about it. I mean,
yeah, especially if Valve are not doing anything and they're getting the same split as the people that originally made the game.
Yeah, well,
they're getting the exact same.
That was in Skyrim, but for the Dota 2 custom mods, it's 70% just to them because there's nobody else.
Yeah,
yeah. So when you realize,
I think if there's nobody else, it should be like.
Yeah, you're getting like.
It's still probably a bit much, but even if it was like 60-40.
I mean,
because they're never going to agree to a 50-50.
No, but I mean, at that point, you're basically getting money. This is something that Valve are very famous for doing, is that they set up systems that outlast them needing to do very much with the game. Counter-Strike has seen multiple systems where you've now got these skins that sell for, in some cases, thousands of dollars, and we saw it with
like
Team Fortress
butterfly
2.
knives.
Yeah, and we saw it with Team Fortress 2 with the hat system, which they're trying to phase out. And now they've also had this ongoing thing where for Dota people have been able to mod creators effectively create custom items to change the appearance of characters in Dota, which then people can buy. And there's a lot of avenues for them to make money without doing any work. And one of the big complaints about this,
CS:GO, skin roulette places.
yeah, and there's been a lot of complaints that Valve in this particular instance are profiting too much for it to make it mod worth their time to charge for it, and it might just be better for it to be just a free thing. So, I mean, let's just any sort of final thoughts on that, Sonic?
Well, I'm gonna have to send it over to Noah because he looks like he's about to piss himself. He's been holding an idea for like 5 minutes.
All right, again, Noah, on you go, mate. On you go.
Well,
Did it flow?
I think that, people shouldn't really be mad at Steam for that or Valve in any way because I mean, if you think about it, like think about Activision and the way they're doing their the way they make their money, and not only they make it in DLCs, the season pass, and the game itself with like in the Call of Duty and the Destiny sense, they got I don't know what they're called in Destiny, but in supply drops, the weapons stuff, like you want a weapon skin, you want a skin for your character, or do you even want one of the new weapons, you have to get it out of supply drop. And now they're making it where it's like $1.99 for 300 or 400 COD points, and it gives you one supply drop. So it's like $4 fucking just for one supply drop, and then the chances of you getting it are still very, very, very slim.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound very fair. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm a big fan of DLC.
It's Activision.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of DLCs when they're done properly. A good example that I think both Ishy and myself agree on is Mass Effect 2. If it wasn't for the gun skins, the actual expansions were really solid, especially Lair the Shadow Broker, which I still stand out as
Best DLC ever.
yeah. If for no other
The
reason,
game is just not the same if you don't have that DLC.
yeah, and the other thing as well is that it's one of these ones that's released cross-platform. But with Dota 2 being these custom game mods being explicitly on the PC version only, I mean, I mean, it's just one of those things where it sort of strikes me as a bit odd. And charging get that split being as harsh as it is to the creators means that they're only getting 30 cents out of every dollar or their amounts for each person.
Yeah.
So if you've got 10 person signings up, you've got $3, whereas they made $7, and it's just like it just feels a bit weird. It feels a bit off. But I mean, I think it's something that I think we can all agree that it's something that the new as we continue forward and companies become more inclusive of modders. I mean, Fallout 4 is going to have mods on the Xbox One. That's confirmed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
But
It's
they're
really
taking
fun
their
for the
sweet
PS4 as
time.
well.
Well, yeah, but they're taking their sweet time with the creation kit because they knew that the community could have literally created the DLC that is coming out. Both of the DLCs that are coming out, Automatron and the other one, the
It's
creature one.
Automatron, not Automatron. It's
Oh,
Automatron.
whatever. Either way, they would have been able to actually make that and make that a free mod instead of letting Bethesda charge like $30 to make that.
$15.99.
Yeah,
Well, the
$2.99.
whole
15.
kind of now how you can build up settlements and things in Fallout 4 came from mods.
Yeah, a lot.
It came from Skyrim mod.
and not
No, it
just-
came from Fallout mods.
Yeah, people have been
Fallout
modding Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas for a long time, and while Skyrim
I
did
want to
actually...
find that Fallout 3 mod now.
Oh, it's for the PC only though, and I know you're running it off your PC, but I thought it was starting to have problems. But anyway,
Yeah, I can run it still.
okay,
Yes.
I'll take your word on it. I'll take your word on
True.
it. All right, okay. Well,
Back in.
I very much think that we've covered about everything that I can think of covering. Does anyone else want to say anything about these about this sort of paid mods or modding in general? Is there any mods that you particularly like the sound of, or have you played and you love?
Not really. I mean,
Not really
I
nice
have
mods.
one mod that I will. I have one mod that I will always love for Gmod, and that's the COD 4 C4. I just while anybody is AFK in any Gmod game I've ever played, I cover the back or the bottom of their car in C4, or even the back of them in C4. Let them walk around a few minutes, then they realize, oh shit,
And then
kaboom!
explode. Oh, for me,
I have put it
That
to
sounds
me
like
and
when
Liam.
our friend was was AFK on that server on Minecraft, and we surrounded him in dirt.
yeah, we covered him in dirt. That was just
That was
very
funny.
One of the things I would say is that for me, any mods, especially on an RPG like Skyrim or Fallout, any mod shouldn't either be overpowered or take away from the game as a whole. I mean,
if they're paid.
no, not even if they're not paid. I feel that a good mod doesn't like a good mod either changes the game entirely so it doesn't feel like you're playing the original game, or it integrates perfectly into the world. So a good example would be
Like that.
well, I mean, a good example would be in my Skyrim playthrough that I've got at the moment on the PC. I have an extra armors mod, and it just means that they're not like broken or anything like that. They are by no means ridiculously broken. They're relatively easy to craft. It added a few more it just added a little variety to the bad guys. So I mean, you're wandering around, you've slayed dragons for ages, you completed the main quest, and in a normal Skyrim game, a guy's going to run up to you with an iron sword and a leather armor, and he's going to try and kick your ass. Whereas in this one, it sort of scales a bit more, and you'll maybe see a guy in full plate come up to you and be like, "Yeah, I'm going to wreck your shit." You know, sort of a different way to do it, as it were.
I'm gonna wreck it.
Yeah,
There's a mod for Factorio that fits perfectly. I mean, Factorio's modding community is kind of really early on, but a mod that I found that fits perfectly in with the styling of it is a mod called Equivalent Exchange. There is a Minecraft version, but it doesn't exactly fit too well.
yeah.
But yeah, Equivalent Exchange for Factorio, it fits in perfectly well with the aesthetic of research new technology and build better and better and better things and build your race bigger and bigger and bigger. I mean, there's very few mods that actually fit that well into types like that, but Equivalent Exchange fits perfectly in with Factorio.
Well, I mean, there is a Minecraft mod that, I mean, I haven't personally played it because I don't have a PC, obviously. But there's a Minecraft mod that I think fits very well into it with the people that think Minecraft's just stupid and it's for kids and it's just blocks. I don't know what the name of the mod is, but it's the one that makes it look super realistic. The water is like super realistic.
Shaders. It's a shaders pack.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Ishy, you've actually had a very small, minor amount of Minecraft modding experience. Didn't you have Leaping Angels as an enemy for a while or something? Like, I'm talking
I don't
years
remember. I don't really remember. I either saw a mod that could do that. I don't think I actually had it because I wasn't brave enough.
All right, okay. So,
But
There's
obviously
mods
there's
that
the
can do
Minecraft mod that we both love.
which one?
The tree capinator.
Oh, the Tree Capitator mod, right. So, those of you who love your Minecraft and you haven't heard of Tree
That's a
Capitator,
plugin.
well, Tree Capitator has it so that axes mean something rather than just chewing through the wood faster. If you go up to a tree with an axe and you chop out the bottom block and you have Tree Capitator on, it destroys the whole tree and turns it into blocks. So you basically felled the whole tree in a oneer, and I think it's probably one of the mods.
It's slightly more realistic than I'm going to take out the bottom block and the tree is still there.
Yeah, and also makes things easier.
Well, the tree will still be there, just be on the ground instead of being up in the air.
Well, that's the thing, is that
it makes all the trees actual wood turn into blocks, and it falls. The blocks fall on the items. It turns it into items, and it
Well,
falls
I
on the
understood that part. I'm just saying, like in real life, and it would just fall over.
Well, there is a mod I looked into. It's in a pack called To the Core. I don't even remember what the mod name is, but it actually makes it to where if you chop out the bottom block of a tree, it'll fall down. The entire tree will fall down by one block until you've run out of blocks, or
so
until you run out of.
pops down like it would with like gravity.
Yeah.
There. Yeah, that sounds pretty cool. So start treating it like
And-
sand in that regard.
Yeah, and then there's also there's pretty much Tree Capitator thrown into Tinker's Construct. If you make a lumber axe, it automatically chops down trees for you.
Yeah, that's pretty.
That's cool.
All right, okay.
Oh, there was
Yeah.
a Pokemon mod for it as well, for Minecraft as well at one point.
That was
Yeah,
pretty good. That was pretty
Yeah,
good.
and Pixelmon is freaking awesome.
What's
So-
that game that's kind of like Minecraft? It's the
Terraria.
your Terraria bullshit. I'm tired of you saying that. No, it's the mod. It's like I don't know, it's not a mod. It's an actual full on game, but I don't think they actually sold it. Rooster Teeth actually did a Let's Play in it. It's like Minecraft where you can mine and stuff, except instead of it being in blocks, it just looks super realistic, and it's a zombie game as well. It has zombies in it.
Oh, that sounds like
Abandoned houses, abandoned cars, all kinds of
yeah,
stuff.
that's not DayZ. It's something else. I can't remember the name of it. But yeah, I know the one you mean.
I think that's what it was actually.
Yeah, I have that because it sounds like it.
Well, we need to play that. Make a Let's Play.
All right, okay. Well,
Oh,
thank you very much. Yeah. Sorry.
Hold on. One quick bit of news. I will be getting in the part pretty soon, so I can start recording.
Properly.
So yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, in that case then, thank you very much to Noah and Ishy. It's actually very nice to have you on. A different flavor to our normal podcast. Sonic, again, thank you very much for joining me, as we usually do.
I'm back next week, by the way.
I will.
Oh, properly.
Yeah, you'll. I probably will. I don't know.
All right. Okay. All right. Okay. In that case, then, as I said, we thank our guests to Noah and Ishy. Thank you very much to Sonic for joining us. And in that case, then, I think we'll bid you all a good evening.